You ever meet someone who seems to be playing a completely different game than everyone else? Like they're playing chess while the rest of us are still trying to figure out checkers. Well, today, we're diving into the mind of one of the rarest and most strategically brilliant personality types out there, the INTJ. They're often called the strategist, and for good reason. It's this fascinating mix of almost psychic insight and pure cold logic.
I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures what it's like inside their head. Their mind is never, ever at rest. It's like this relentless engine, always analyzing, always scanning the horizon, planning out moves and countermoves for a future that hasn't even happened yet. It's that deep, strategic drive we're going to unpack today.
Okay, so we know they're thinkers, we know they're planners. But why? What's really going on under the hood that makes them tick? What creates this powerful, unstoppable drive to not just understand how the world works, but to actively try and make it better, to, bend it towards a more logical, efficient design? That's the real question we're getting into.
All right, let's dive right in. To really get a handle on the INTJ, we've got to look at their mental operating system, how they take in information, and how they decide what to do with it.
So this right here, this is the fundamental blueprint. For an INTJ, everything, and I mean everything, starts inside. It begins in this really rich, complex world of intuition. That's what we call their dominant function. It's the mental tool they trust the most, their go-to. And only after an idea has been processed there do they turn to the outside world. And that's when they apply that framework of pure rational logic. So think of it like this. First, see the pattern inside your head, then act on it out in the world.
So let's really dig into that primary mode. This world of inner vision. What does that actually look like? What does it feel like? Because let me tell you, this is not just idle daydreaming. Nope. This is the engine room that powers everything they do.
Imagine their mind is constantly building this massive, interconnected web of ideas. Every single new piece of information they get isn't just filed away. Bam! It's instantly woven into this huge existing framework. And that's their secret weapon. That's how they spot the hidden patterns and see future possibilities that most of us just completely miss. For an INTJ, it's never about the individual facts, it's always about how everything connects.
And this incredible internal process, it leads to some really distinct traits. They just can't help but see the big picture. They're always focused on what's next, on the future. It's what gives them those sudden aha moments, those flashes of insight that seem to come out of nowhere. You can throw a brand new complex idea at them, and they often just get it instantly, because they can already see where it fits on their giant mental map. And here's the kicker. They learn to place an immense amount of trust in those intuitive leaps.
But here's the thing. An INTJ rarely stays lost in this world of ideas for long. See, their secondary function kicks in, and it basically demands that all those powerful insights actually get put to work in the real world.
This right here, this is the bridge between their inner world and the outer world. All of that powerful, sometimes chaotic intuition, it needs an outlet. INTJs feel this deep, compelling need to take all those abstract, tangled thoughts and forge them into something real, something structured and organized and actionable. They don't just want to understand the system, they are driven to build it.
And here's their playbook, laid out for us. It starts with them just soaking up complex ideas and theories. From there, their intuition just explodes with possibilities. Then, their logical brain steps in, wrangles all those ideas, and organizes them into a clear, structured plan. And finally, they feel compelled to put that plan into action and see it through to the end. It's the whole shebang, from abstract thought to a tangible result.
And this whole process is exactly what makes them such effective leaders, even if they're a bit reluctant about it. They're not hungry for the spotlight. Actually, they'd much rather strategize from the background. They will only step up and take charge when they see a system is breaking down or a team is losing its way, because they instinctively, immediately see how to fix it.
But of course, no personality type is perfect. For the INTJ, their greatest strengths are also a massive double-edged sword, and the other side of that blade, well, it can create some pretty significant blind spots.
And here you see the two sides of that coin, clear as day. On the one hand, their self-confidence and intelligence are just off the charts. They're not easily rattled by criticism because to them, it's just more data to analyze. But that same logical detachment can come across as really cold and insensitive. That powerful trust in their own insights can start to look a lot like arrogance, making it really difficult for them to admit they're wrong or sometimes to even notice the emotional needs of the people right in front of them.
And get this, according to our source material, the root of the problem is surprisingly simple.
A staggering 90% of an INTJ's potential struggles all come from one single issue: their powerful, dominant intuition just running wild and completely overpowering every other part of their personality.
Now, this is the crucial point. It's not that they want to be insensitive or arrogant. It's a functional imbalance. So what exactly is happening inside the INTJ's mind that causes this shift? How do they go from brilliant strategist to, well, an isolated elitist?
So how do they fix this imbalance? Well, understanding the problem is always the first step. And for the INTJ, finding that balance is the absolute key to unlocking their truly immense potential. And here's the trap they can fall into. A healthy INTJ uses their sharp logic to stress test their own intuitive ideas. They poke holes in their own theories. But an unbalanced INTJ, they turn that logic outward, and they use it like a shield to just shoot down any external idea that challenges their internal vision. It becomes a defense mechanism, a shortcut that protects their ego but ultimately just stunts their growth.
This quote, this is arguably the single most important piece of advice for a developing INTJ. It's a conscious, deliberate shift in your whole mindset. It's about pausing before you try to make your point and first making absolutely sure you understand theirs.
So how do they put that advice into practice? Well, it really comes down to a few key habits. Actually talking through your ideas with other people forces you to structure them. Taking in all the information, even from sources you'd normally dismiss, that just feeds and refines your intuition. Taking accountability. That means looking inward for the source of a problem, instead of just blaming the flawed system. And finally, and this is a big one, actively fighting against isolation opens them up to the crucial feedback they need to grow.
And this is the truly optimistic takeaway here. The raw intelligence, the drive, it's all already there. By consciously layering on the skills of open communication and a genuine respect for other perspectives, the INTJ can achieve not just incredible success, but also the deep, rewarding relationships that make all that success truly meaningful. So, we'll leave you with this final thought. An INTJ who only masters their inner world can be a brilliant, but maybe a lonely thinker. But one who masters both their profound inner vision and the art of connecting with the outer world, well, their potential is truly limitless. Thanks for watching.